otherwise the chickens will go and eat everything. They have fun here. Come on in.
I think I have fun here.
Oh yeah, well, the nice thing is you can come in here on a winter day and go,
nice and warm.
It's tropics. These are fig trees.
Oh.
But what I do with my greenhouse here is I took this ground cover and I just folded it back, added composting and soil, and then I grow my greens and stuff in here.
This is where our greens come from all winter long
all winter
that
long.
we get.
And some of the broccoli and stuff came from here. And some from outside. And the stuff that looks kind of like large clover is alfalfa.
Now, what do you grow that?
Too.
Do you eat the alfalfa?
Yeah, I eat the alfalfa, and I just cut it right in with the salad greens because it's very good for you.
I know it's one of the best. It's actually a legume, isn't it? Alfalfa.
But planted like this, it will put like nitrogen when it breaks down and goes back. Then it just reconditions the soil to put more vitamins and minerals into it.
Now you get figs eventually off your fig trees?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh,
I know. Isn't that great?
I love fresh figs.
Figs are my favorite thing in the world, and I didn't think you could do this, but my one grower friend who actually did, the mosquito plant, the citronella plant.
Yes.
They actually are the ones that made it big with the citronella plant years ago, and so they added to their greenhouse area, and so they started doing. These are called Chicago fig tree, and they will come back in this weather. You can plant them here. And they will.
Oh, really?
We may have to visit with you about getting one of those for our garden.
Yeah, because those are great. I love those. And I will show you the stages of tomatoes that we can get. But see, this is our first stages of tomatoes. You plant them in the little pots like this. And then you graduate and put them into the bigger one. And I do this, not with all of them, obviously, because I don't have time to, not with 900 plants. But that gives me a jump on getting some early. And that's why, like, this is zucchini and stuff. I'm trying to get it big enough before I put it out there so I'll have some early. And then I'll plant it in different staggering stages.
Well, that's why we see you at the farmer's market. Then you're the first one sometimes to have the produce.
Exactly.
You've got this going.
Because it's a lot of planning though. And I screw it up at times. I mean, I really do. I
can't believe that.
Like during the middle of the summer when you're really busy is when you should be seeding broccoli for your winter crop.
Right.
And it gets away from you at times. You're like, oh my God, I should have seeded 3 weeks ago. But
because you can't be up from 6 o'clock in the morning to 6 o'clock in the morning. You have to have those 2 or 3 hours of sleep.
Again, it doesn't work real well. I get a little goofy, a little slap happy. And that doesn't quite go along with the staying healthy.
No, you need to rest.
Yeah,
At least an hour or two.
It's very important. And this is that Malabar spinach that was in the paper that everyone was talking about.
That's very nice.
Very interesting looking.
This stuff, I grew a 100-foot row of this, okay? And you see how bigger the leaves get and stuff?
Yeah.
I'm going to cut this so that, take these leaves off. And but the leaves are really succulent. It reminds me of a succulent plant.
Yeah, they're really nice.
And it has like an aftertaste of like a beet.
That's
like
nice.
beet undertones.
They're sweet. It's really good.
But this stuff produces like insane. I put 20 plants in that 100-foot row and I could have put 8. It took the fence down and everything.
Now, when you harvest this, do you cut it off here or do you just take the leaves?
I take the leaves until it starts getting shoots, and then when it gets the shoots out, we take and cut because you can saute these and eat them like you would asparagus or anything like that.
Good.
This is an Asian crop.
Very good.
It's called red Malabar spinach.
Very nice. What do you have growing down here, Cindy, with those purplish leaves?
That's kohlrabi.
Oh, my favorite. Yay.
Yeah, but the kohlrabi, that's what I put in your greens too, because if you cut them when they're little like this, the green is wonderful. Plus, it allows the bulb to get quicker. It gives more energy to it.
That last kohlrabi you got me was the sweetest I've ever had.
Winter.
Really juicy winter ones.
Yeah.
Different. Oh, they were
just
so
like
good.
carrots and everything. When you grow them in the wintertime, they have better flavor.
Yeah, I could not even cook those.
I
turned
think
into a
they
salad.
like it.
They were so good.
Yeah, they like the coolness.
They're wonderful.
And this is an accident. I crossed broccoli, rab, and kale.
No.
But try the leaf. It is amazing. Would you like one? I mean, and you can taste both. You can taste broccoli and you can taste kale.
Okay.
Or I can. Isn't it interesting?
It is interesting. Worked for me.
And this part is
So you invented a new plant.
on an accident. That's what happens
Wow.
sometimes when you allow something to come back Like if it seeds itself and it comes back, like this came back where I had the stuff planted, and so I dug it up and brought it in here, and that's what it came to.
It's
So
like
it
a
kinda
whole salad in one plant.
Yeah.
Salad plant. A new
And see, this is
variety.
how when the garden's growing, this is how I eat. I mean, because I'm going through there, and everyone's like, "You didn't take a break for lunch," and I'm like, "No, but I ate a
You were
lot."
grazing.
Yeah, I love it that way. And peppers, the sweet peppers, that's my absolute favorite. And this will show you a really big stage. This is where the herbs are. See, they're seeded, they're tiny.
Yep.
And then you transplant.
And what kind of herb is this?
This is basil.
My favorite. I eat a lot that you grow.
Yep, and it's fun. So, but those are the stages, and that gives you a little hint. These are specialty planters for people. And this is a mojito mint. This is a specialty mint done specially for those mojitos, the drinks.
Oh, it smells nice.
It is. It's a lighter. The leaf isn't as tough. It's got a little bit of a lighter mint taste to it.
That's nice.
So do you serve drinks in here occasionally?
No, but we should. But
Yeah,
I thought
probably.
about,
I think so.
I really get depressed in the winter, and I thought, I could throw a couple buckets of sand down in here, put a chair, and have a drink.
I
Yeah.
think that you should.
I
Yeah.
mean, what
And invite
that
me
would
up,
help the
invite me
mentality. And I'll have Stewart, and we'll just have
Yeah.
slam some down there. Yeah, right.
Cocktails.
That.
Cocktails in the hot house.
I like doing little things like this, or putting like everyone will say, I don't have room for a garden. I'm like, well, let me sell you a plant, a tomato and a pepper, or a tomato and a cucumber in a pot, and then you at least can pick something that you grew fresh.
Right.
And especially if they have children,
Yes.
because the children really need to see that.
Right.
When the Chicago people come here from the city, you should see children's eyes when I go out. Because of the way we grow our potatoes, when we mound the potato, we put grass over them and over them and over them the whole season long. Well, then when it's time to harvest the potatoes, you grab the plant and pull instead of digging.
Oh.
And then the potatoes come up with it, and it just makes it, definitely easier. But when a child or something sees that, they have no idea actually, a lot of adults have no idea that that's where the potato came from.
Well, that's true. And that's one reason why I wanted to move out of New York, because I wanted my children to know where food comes from.
Exactly.
They're so disconnected. I have to tell this story about my mother-in-law. When I went to New York, she would send me to the store and she'd say, "Be sure you get a tomato that's nice and hard."
And green.
Yeah, and well, basically hard. She wanted it hard. She said, "Those are the good ones," And of course, anyone who's had a fresh tomato, those of you who are thinking, "Oh, you don't buy them hard?" If you've had a fresh tomato, they're soft and the skin is velvety and it just melts in your mouth, and it's a wonderful experience. It's totally different.
It's not
from
like crunchy cardboard.
No.
That's what I have a cute story too. When I first started doing this, of course, because I'm organic, I'm a girl, both, all the farmers around here were like,
never gonna.
it's not gonna go. You look like a model. You don't look like a farmer. You're never gonna be able to handle it. This isn't, this area is not gonna sustain that.
Right.
I said, you guys, whatever. And then they'd tell me, well, nitrates aren't bad for you. And I would say, well, you guys, there are natural occurring nitrates, which aren't so bad for you because our nature needs those natural occurring nitrates. But when they're chemical nitrates, yes, they're bad for you. Proven cancer-causing agent. And then they'd look at me like, dumbfounded.
Yeah, that you even knew that.
She's not as stupid as we thought she was. Well, then it started happening in the last few years that they're going into the farm supply store where I go and asking for what Cindy grew it or because Cindy does the research and knows the newer products. So
And what's good and
what's
what's not.
old really brought back, and they think it's rocket science. It's not. Plus, they don't know anything about what they're growing.
Right.
A lot of them don't eat it. If you talk to them and you want to know, okay, how do I prepare this or what's the nutrition? They don't really, they know a lot more than I do about the farming of it, but they don't know anything about the product.
Well, they know the practices that are taught today.
Right.
But they don't know, like you're talking about, the old things coming back again. That is a whole
or
different
the health
ballgame.
end of it.
Yes.
They have no idea on the health end of it.
Oh.
And lots of them have, all said that, well, something's going to kill you anyways. Why do you think the farm industry and like the tractor places have made enclosed cabs and stuff like that?
Interesting.
They also know what the effects are.
Good
You
point.
can't tell me they don't know the effects. They're also trying to protect the farmer, but not actually saying that.
Right.
So they also know.
Yeah.
But that gives you a little bit of how the work goes in the greenhouse.
Well, thank you. It's fascinating to watch all this happening right before our eyes, and the things you can grow inside. You know, bulb crops, root crops, I guess you would call
Yes.
them.
Now, a lot of times people won't grow these in, and they are harder, and that's probably why a farmer doesn't do a lot of winter crop. You lose a lot. And on a big scale, you would lose a lot.
Right.
But like maybe being on a small scale and watching it, you know, and that's probably why they don't do it. Because you have to charge higher prices because you know the loss, the harder growing stages, and all of that. Plus, I think probably some of them go, God, I want a break.
Well, I'm sure.
That's always tempting.
I'm sure.
But also, when you have things going in the greenhouse here, I don't have them setting out yet. You have to take things in and out and let them harden off. So that they get used to the real sun, even because this has a UV filter on it. Otherwise, if I just took these out and stuck them in the ground, they would just kind of go,
What
they would
do I
look
do?
really bad for a little while. Chickens are dirty creatures. I mean, any farm animal is. And I think most of the reason why farmers do not allow chickens so much free range is they can destroy a lot. They dig. I mean, they can move some ground. It's incredible. As small as they are in those feet, they can dig a hole in no time flat. I wish I could train them.
So what about when your things are actually growing? What do you do with your chickens to keep them out of your fields and your crops?
Out comes the wonder dog.
Oh, your dog keeps
Yes,
them out?
I have to say it's Cody. The dog's in the garden.
Really? That's interesting.
Oh,
He knows they don't belong
absolutely wonderful.
there. It's interesting.
And that all came by accident.
Yeah,
The
you
dog
learned.
is from the dog pound.
Yeah.
One day I was out in the garden, and I was like, oh God, I gotta go chase those chickens again. And I went out and I said, get out of the garden. Here come the dog running, got a foot behind those chickens and chased them back to the
Well, he
coop.
knew what you wanted.
And I watched him, and I thought, well, isn't that cool?
Yeah.
And I thought, I wonder if that'll work again. And I did. Then they were by the greenhouse. I said, get him out of the greenhouse. He went, got out of the... I was like, okay, this is way too cool.
This works.
And it is. It's funny. It's funny to watch also. But, I mean, so now he owns the chickens.
All right. I like the
I mean,
works.
if we're inside and you hear the chickens in a ruckus, the dog will go berserk. We're going to open the door. He hauls butt out here to see what's going on. Hi, Whitey. What you doing, friend? Huh? What you doing? She's a big girl. That's a Wyandotte.
It's gorgeous.
Yeah, she is pretty. She's probably the biggest chicken out here.
Now, which ones produce the green and, to me, even like bluish type eggs versus
Those
the
are
white
the
ones?
Aracanas. See these girls here on the ground? This one by the rooster and the other one pecking. And if you look at them, see they kind of have a beard.
Yeah.
And my nephew says it looks like they have earmuffs, which it does. They're puffy by their ears. And they are the blue and green egg layers.
Okay. Because a lot of people, when I first show them blue and green eggs, some of people won't even eat a brown egg. And then you show them a blue and a green one.
I know, and they freak out. They're like, it's not green inside. I'm like, it is no different.
What does it taste like in there? It tastes the
It's
same.
very interesting.
But anyway, it's
Yeah,
just, it's fun.
it's just the eggshell colors.
But it's a fun thing. It's from nature. It's fun. You go to
Exactly.
the store, you get those little brittle white shelled things, and here
And your thumb will go through
yes. And this is like we talked about. The shells are harder. The colors are nice. It's just fun. It adds some variety to life.
it. Well, you know, you look at the calcium they're getting and the stress level.
Yeah.
You know, if I were kept in a cage and I couldn't move very far for my entire life, imagine, you know, your stress level, your health.
That's what Janet does to me. So it keeps me in a cage and I don't
Oh,
go.
hardly
Well,
missed
I
the world.
think sometimes you may need that. Men are a different story all
Hey,
themselves.
I need my lawyer out here.
And as you know, now in life, women stick together.
I've noticed, yeah.
You know, you can't change that. But these girls are pretty too, the Aracanas.
Yeah,
I
very
think they're
nice.
very pretty. Their feathers are pretty. They have a good disposition. This bunch of chickens here is probably the best group of chickens I've had as far as they are major ground feeders. I mean, they just eat off this ground like crazy.
Oh, they keep your garden cleaner
Oh,
too
yes.
in the long run because they help with the pesky bugs.
Yep, now certain ones of them, and I'll have to watch them like, you know, as the strawberries ripen, or like when I get the plants in, like last year during tomato season, they had to stay in the pen.
Yeah.
But they're still not caged. They still have a huge amount of area. Even if they're closed in, they have a total indoor area, a semi-indoor area, and a you know, it's open. it.
Plenty
So
of
they
room.
have plenty of space.
Yeah.
But they're used to real space.
Right.
I mean, they're down on the road, they're in the woods.
Right, they're all over.
Sometimes they're in the neighbor's yard.
Oh dear.
They put on some miles in there nonstop.
Yeah, they're busy.
Very busy. And that's probably what makes them so healthy too, and the eggs healthy, because they're lots of exercise. I mean,
And yet they still have a weight problem.
yeah, they are. They're chunky.
It's amazing.
Chunky girls. Well, they're constantly eating.
Well, show us you have a little store here too,
Yes.
don't you? Now, I see you have a lot of write-ups about you and your work and everything
Yes.
you've done all over your walls. So you're kind of like famous in the area, aren't you?
Well, the paper's very friendly to us,
That's
and
nice.
I think a lot of it is the colors, and that attracts the eye, and then being able to tell people about what is grown and what to do
Nutrition,
with
yeah.
it, and the benefits and all of that. It helps a lot.
That's great. So in the summer or off season or all year round, or when is your store open?
We're open all year round. Mostly we only have like the canned produce and soaps and lotions and stuff like that
So
in
you
the
make-
off season.
You make soaps and lotions as well?
Soaps, lotions, oils,
Wow. And you make those from...
goat's milk, jojoba oils, and all essential oils.
Wow. And rumor has it you have a goat.
I do have a goat. I don't have a milk goat anymore though. She
Yeah.
passed away.
Uh.
So we just have a pet goat now.
Yeah. Well, that's so you have to get your goat milk somewhere else for your soap.
Yeah, I'm getting goat milk elsewhere, and
This is great soap. We use this.
oh, that is wonderful soap, and your skin feels so good afterwards. And it's like this man said to me, I thought it was great, because he was on all kinds of medication for his heart, and he said, my skin is terrible. He goes, I don't understand what's in your soap that makes my skin better. And I said, well, it is what's in it, but more importantly, it's probably what's not in it.
Yeah.
Ah,
Good point.
And that is, you know, we are putting so many things on our skin and into our bodies that, and a lot of it in our mouth.
Yeah.
I mean, and, you know, our toothpastes, our, you know, all of our products have so many chemicals in them.
Yeah.
So many, and a lot of them are petroleum
Yes.
based.
Absolutely.
You know, so it's like, you know, do you want to change your oil in your body? You know, we're not a car. We're supposed to have certain things we're not supposed to have, you know.
Right.
Propylene glycol and
Spices,
antifreeze
yeah.
going through our system.
That's right.
So this is kind of a mess right now. We're getting ready to reset it up to get all the products out here. We need another building.
Well, yes. Well, this one is
You run out of
full.
space pretty
do-
quickly.
You do have some spices. I use these all winter long, nice, beautiful organic spices. And look here, here's even a jar of their bread and butter pickles. That we also eat these. You sweeten ours with stevia. So I'm not really a bread and butter pickle fan, but I love hers. So hers are really good, and I don't know.
Well, and the seasonings are, a lot of them are in, you know, little pieces of wood, like chicory roots and stuff like that. So it makes it more of a, I don't know, it's like an earthy pickle in a way.
This is cauliflower pickles. We eat that too. It's delicious. And this is back here is where it normally would be filled with your produce
lots of
during the
produce,
season.
and
when-
it will.
when-
Then you won't have room to walk in here. And
Yeah. Well, come
it'll
back
make
because
a
I
big
want to see
change.
it. Full.
Yes, I want you to see that too, because it's beautiful with the colors and the food. And
But I'm going to tell you what I've spotted. What's that?
those are Jerusalem
Oh, you're kidding.
artichokes,
That's
which
a-
are very difficult to find.
They are. They're one of my favorites, and they're good for
And-
blood sugar and full of
Yep.
inulin.
And wonderful, you know, like for your son with diabetes.
Yeah.
And just, it's a crop that really is more grown in more tropical climates, in zone 7 and up.
Ah, so,
But you can overwinter them here.
wow, I can't
And
wait.
then that's when they're better, you know, to dig out and stuff. These actually came, these 2 baskets and one other one, which she kept, actually came from 2 little pounds of artichokes
You're
planted.
kidding. My goodness. Well,
But you have to plant them in a place where you don't want something else, because it will take over. So
well, that would be okay for me because we love these.
yes, and they are beautiful.
So
And
can I take a bushel with
Yes,
me?
that you can take one.
Thank
with
you.
Yes.
Because I'm going to fix those. I'm going to show you within the next couple of weeks, depending upon how our podcast schedule goes, I'm going to show you what to do with Jerusalem artichokes because these are amazing. If you've not eaten them before, they're also called sunchokes. But if you've not eaten them before, you are going to be pleasantly surprised. They're great.
And I haven't had them.
Oh.
I haven't had
you'll have to
Jerusalem
come to my house
artichokes.
for
So
cooking
I mean,
lessons.
it's a new one on me.
Oh, though, these are
I
amazing.
when we went and she said, Cindy, I have something for you, and I went and helped her dig a few, and I was like, oh, you're a godsend. I said, I was looking for these. And
Yeah.
she said, yeah, I planted them. You're the first person I thought of because she gets her produce from me also. So she had just put them along her fence line and done nothing with them. And then
Oh, well, they're
Late fall.
amazing, so they're very, very good.
So we're going to plant them and give it a shot. But yeah, I will have to learn because I haven't had them myself.
Yeah, low carb. They're like you can use them as a potato replacement. You can steam them with a little bit of butter. You can grate them and pan fry them. You can put them in soup. I make a wonderful cream Jerusalem artichoke soup. That's amazing. So
Ooh.
lots of really great things with this. And like I said, low carb, high in inulin. It's really good for your blood sugar. So thank you, thank you.
Yeah, as a matter of
thank
fact, the friend was a doctor, and that was the first thing out of her mouth when
Really?
she said that, yeah.
Yep.
And I said, hey, whoa, you're a doctor that knows nutrition.
Good kind of friend to have.
Yes, so that was interesting. But they are beautiful,
They
too.
are. Well,
They
Cindy,
look so nice.
I want to thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome,
For
guys. Thanks for
everything.
coming out and seeing, and thanks for doing this, because this needs to be put into people's head, because I don't want real food to be lost.
No, and
And
we
the
want
art
to
of
come
growing
back.
it, and the art of helping ourselves and how we can heal and how we can do everything. It's very important. So, important what I do is also important what you're doing. So,
Well, you know what I
it
tell-
all works together.
It does. And you know what good is
a
the
big
knowledge
circle.
if you don't share it?
Exactly.
And then if you have it and you don't use it. So this is a way we can all get together to help educate everyone on their bodies, their minds, their souls. And everybody has a piece of the puzzle. I think that's what's so important. I don't have all the answers. Stewart doesn't. Cindy doesn't.
None
but
of us
all
do,
of
but
us
we
together.
can help together.
Yes.
And that's it too, is we all do different things in life, which makes us learn little different things that the other person doesn't, so you share it with one another.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Well,
And that's the
thank
way
you.
life's supposed to be.
It is. Thank you
Somewhere
so
we got
much.
lost. You're welcome.
Did.
Thanks. Well, that's it for this week, and we look forward to seeing you next time on Expansions Podcast.